The name of all the real niggas.
I want you to speak up clear and loud.
Respectfully, the most honorable YB double M. Lotto.
Brown baby.
Gunshots in the dark at me. Discrimination cause my head nappy. Call me a thug cause I'm tatted up. Now your actions justify when them slugs clap me. I think it's a war on the black race. Why every criminal they show got a black face, and every hero they show gotta be pale? Is it me or y'all got the wrong niggas for crimes against humanity? Of course we out here acting up. They slaughtered our elders and told the babies they from Africa. We screaming Black Lives Matter, they do. Well nigga, Black Lives Matter to who? Cause they don't matter to you. You know the owner of that movement, a Jew, and Nick Cannon got canceled just for speaking the truth. True, y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe. Y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe.
Network, where we got the best work. I'm your host, Fetty Lotto, here to put a stain on your brain and bring you some news you can use. Pay attention, man, to this little clip I'm about to play. You know, we back over here on TikTok. You know, reacting to this TikTok thing, man. But this is by the Alley Circle, and just pay attention to what he say about the fallen angels, man. Let me know what y'all think about this.
People misunderstand fallen angels. So you know what? We should deal with this real quick. You mind if I reason with you? Now listen, I'm not here saying that you misunderstand them like they're really nice people. I'm not saying that they bad people either. I'm saying just pay attention to what you've been thinking. Hear what I'm saying. When you hear fallen angel, you thinking about some spooky shit that happened in another dimension and all that. No, my nigga. This shit happened in real life in real time. What people saw. The Bible is written from the perspective of humans, not from the perspective of God. Pay attention, motherfuckers. That niggas is talking about the shit that they saw. And when they saw a fallen angel, because they probably saw the motherfucker fall. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, literally fell. And they call it an angel. You know why? Because there was a war in the heavens. Not in heaven, in the sky, motherfucker. There was a war. Just the same as there was a war in the heavens in 1561. We all seen this painting. We all seen this photo, motherfucker. That's a war in the heavens. And you see right there something crashed? That angel fell, bitch. A fallen angel. I'm just saying, man, y'all ain't paying attention. That's a war in the heavens. That's a fallen angel. And y'all still ain't paying attention to the biggest shit. I done told y'all this whole time, every now and again, I repeat that the Most High God name to you is El Elyon. El meaning the. Elyon, you're told, means the Most High. But hear me out. Elyon sounds a lot like alien, doesn't it? Alien, Elyon. I'm just saying, Elon, who the fuck knows, bitch? Pay attention, though. What I'm trying to say to you motherfuckers who ain't thinking, that if this is a prison planet, the fallen angels are in prison on Earth, and you just so happen to be on Earth, you know what? That might be too much. Why was they in prison? What crime? Was it a crime? Or are they prisoners of war? POWs, bitch, working the farm so their energy is taken. Sounds like a lot like Loosh. Wait a minute, I thought Loosh came from us. I'm just saying, think about it. The gods had gold blood. I've shown you earlier, you got gold in your urine, which means you got gold in your blood. Is the shit not tracking yet, nigga? Is the shit not tracking yet? Listen to me, when I tell you that gold and the rare metals come from fallen angels, I'm talking about what they fell in, bitch. You don't remember them chariots of fire? What a chariot of fire look like right now? Y'all not thinking. Hear what I'm saying. You motherfuckers don't add socialization to when you read the Bible. What else would a motherfucker call some shit in the sky glowing like these orbs and shit? Chariots of fire, you stupid motherfucker. They had no frame of reference. They had no context. What I'm saying is motherfuckers tried to stand up against a tyrant named Yahweh, who is not God. In the Bible, he is the Lord God. Sometimes he's known as angel of the Lord. So hear what I'm saying. This is a physical motherfucker. He had dinner with Abraham, bitch. Hear what I'm saying. And motherfuckers wasn't going for that shit. Motherfuckers was not going. I don't think y'all get what the fuck I'm saying. I'm saying our ancestors came here and reproduced with the local shit. It clearly says the sons of God saw and knew the daughters of man. See, y'all didn't understand that when Adam and Eve was kicked out, the serpent was kicked out too. Who was the serpent? Once again, I've told you this was a rebellion. And Adam and Eve wasn't just two people. It was a group of motherfuckers. And where were they? They were sent back from whence they came. They were sent back to the motherfucking planet. Bitch, they fell. Are you dumb? All I'm saying is we the gods. We in prison, we lost the war, but this shit ain't over. That was a battle, bitch. But I tell you what, change gonna motherfucking come. And you know what? I'm just joking. I don't know shit. What the fuck do I know anyhow? I'm serious. For all I know, you probably got higher concentrations of gold in your body as a child, and your body starts, making it once it's time for you to start reproducing. It starts sending it down to your reproductive areas, and that's the reason why after you have sex, you got less gold in your body, which almost means literally the moment you have sex, you lose value. I'm just saying, I don't know shit. TikTok, all of this was just a joke for entertainment purpose. I'm just trying to make niggas laugh. Ain't you laughing? I'm just saying, follow me, click the link in bio. Get the book, bitch. Principles of the Living Word. We gonna get right around this motherfucker. Hey, man, I think...
I might have to get that book, man. That sounds interesting, man. What y'all think? I think that you do got to be taught how to read and interpret the Bible. I don't think most people do. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is one of them books where anybody could make it say what they wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that I totally agree with him that he right, but it is something to look into. It is another angle to look at because it does make sense. Just because things make sense don't make it right, though. You know what I'm saying? But it do make sense, and I think people should be more open-minded to approach this book, the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And the history of, us on this planet in different ways. You know what I'm saying? In different ways for the people that's, into that type of stuff, man. Some people just shallow as a motherfucker and all they care about is, what's the next lit situation they could be a part of or some type of lit energy they can attach themselves to, man, on some bloodsucker shit. But for the people, man, that search for a higher understanding of self and deeper awakenings, man, I think that you need to be more open-minded when it comes to Bible, Quran, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things, the way they explained it to you growing up didn't make sense, but they expected you to believe, they expected you to have faith over logic. You know what I'm saying? They make faith and logic battle. You're supposed to have more faith than logic. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if that's the right way to look at it.
I don't think I'm going to say all of it because for some stuff that is really crazy. If you and I were starting to go do talks and we start talking about Jesus and aliens in the same talk, we're going to go from here to here real fast.
Tying this back to Bob Lazar, there's also a Jesus connection there.
It's crazy. Exactly.
Which is wild. The blue documents, he read that Jesus was some type of hybrid.
And there was a vial in there this thick on religion. The way it was written, because he remembered how Bob said that it was written. It says, the Christian God as you know him doesn't exist. The police officer was there telling me that I had to go meet with a woman because there's a little girl there that's her daughter that is not from here. She gets in the car and she says to me, I was taken up in a ship one time and they introduced me to a little girl. She said, tonight at 11:11, a craft will fly over this house. It appeared out of nowhere and flew right over the house. I had tears in my eyes and she just looks at me super calm and says, I am likely to be the reincarnation of the daughter of Mary Magdalene and Jesus.
I had an experience when I was a kid back in June 22, 1980. And I remember the day because it was right after the release of The Empire Strikes Back. And the kids and I we were young kids standing in Anchorage, Alaska, up near Elmendorf Air Force Base. And all of a sudden a large floating object came floating in over the downtown Anchorage area. Everybody in the city could definitely see it. And the weird thing about it is when it came in, all of the wires were on the fencing and the telephone poles and stuff started vibrating. and we all turned and looked at it, and it was just sitting over the city, and it was the size of a Superdome. It was massive, and it had multiple lights in the middle, like two domes, one on top split in half and one on the bottom glowing orange, and then colored lights in the middle. And then 2 jets took off from Elmendorf Air Force Base, and it shot out over Cook Inlet and vanished instantly. And then the next day, one of the kids couldn't talk to us because his dad was Air Force security, and he said that we made him see.
Have you ever realized that the same system that killed Jesus is the one that created a religion to talk about him? Jesus didn't come to be worshipped. He came to reveal something, a way of operating reality. But the system did something very strategic. It gave people ready-made answers, so they would never see the codes he left behind. And these are the main ones. If you have faith, you will move mountains. Faith is not belief. Faith is alignment. When there is no internal contradiction, reality reorganizes. The Word became flesh. This is the process. Thought condenses into form. The invisible becomes visible. Mind becomes matter. Whatever you ask, believe you have already received it. He wasn't talking about asking. Have you ever realized that the same...
Man, what y'all think, man? They about to switch the way people look at religion, man. I think they pushing some type of agenda to merge extraterrestrial type of rhetoric with religious rhetoric. I think it's a whole movement about to probably spawn up about that, man, because this is all we seeing right now. Even though a lot of it do make sense, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, in these type of situations, different people could just make sense of some shit that don't mean it's the truth. You know what I mean? But as far as religion goes, of course I believe in God, you know what I'm saying? But I just, like, a lot of stuff that's in these religions, like the way people practice these religions, I never really found like a home in none of these religions. You know what I mean? Like, it never really got me like that to where I was just a dedicated follower of one of these orthodox religions. I've always been a very like spiritual person and in tune. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have knowledge of self. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think, man? Jump in the comment section, man. Let me know. Are y'all for this? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people gonna be pushing back against that. They try to mix like extraterrestrial rhetoric in with religious rhetoric and see, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it look like they going to, like they gearing up for something, man. It's about to be a big reveal, and they trying to get ahead of the curve, man, in my opinion.
There's more than one God, but you're only worshiping this one God.
There's more than one God, and God being like a creator. And is that reference to the 5 bloodlines?
Yes.
Which means basically alien.
Yes.
Or what we know to be alien.
The aliens, right.
Which is something foreign to us.
Right.
For the most part.
Right.
Tell me again the 5 bloodlines.
The Anunnaki, reptilians, Greys, Nordics, which aka the Palladians, the Mantises, and then Giants was the last one that was added.
What the hell is the Mantis?
It was one of the villains was the praying mantis, and he was on the spaceship.
They got giant.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen a praying mantis in a bowl with a roach?
Yes. Or when she,
they
when
eat
the
that
woman
from the head down. And I always tell people, if that shit was 6 feet tall, none of us would be living.
Right. But they're the intelligent ones. They're the referees. They're considered as the referees. So they're the ones that are here to monitor how all the other 5 bloodlines move. They're the smartest, but they will play as a referee, just like how football, throwing the flag, how they referee the game. We're in a game. There's more.
The third eye activation is indigenous to India, even though India is one of our colonies. Yeah. Known for the bending, the third eye activator. But I will show you in the art that you created before you went to sleep, as your consciousness up your spinal column would creep to activate your third eye, answering all questions why you are God that you are. Look at this mask here. You can plainly see that the third eye is being activated. You can plainly see that the third eye is firmly situated. You can see the ascension. The bird represents height, overcoming the lower self, no longer steeped in lust, anger, greed, envy, jealousy, or fear. We conquered all that. We left it clear to make sure we will remember ourselves. This is activation of the third eye, the pineal gland in full bloom, the alkebulan. Third eye activation. And once again, check this warrior guard out here. Third eye activation. Masculine, feminine, balance and order. The diamond in the rough. Kundalini. God and everything out representing creation. The diamond in the rough.
So, King,
The eternal spiral.
why is it important to open the third eye?
To see through illusion, to see through confusion, your third eye has to be activated. In order for you to have been a slave to call another master, your third eye would have to be calcified.
Oh,
You understand? Because that's the only reason you can submit to such
okay.
tyrannical treatment. So once your third eye is decalcified, you know truth again, you know love again. Now remember, we are human beings, human spectrum of light, which means we are light beings, which means once again, we're cosmic.
Okay.
Okay, but we've been in a low vibration, steeped in lust, anger, greed, envy, jealousy, fear, and all the carnalities of the West. That's where we've been. That's what's been bellowing up in our chest. So now it's time for us to give all that a rest and go to a place of love, of harmony, of peace, of well-being, where children, you can hear their laughter, where the women are happy, and men know brotherhood. This is where we have to go. This is the next level of our journey. Okay, so meet me over here, brother. Okay, once again, the third eye. From the Congo, Zaire, all throughout the diaspora, all throughout the continent, all throughout Alkebulan, the third eye is activated. We're firmly situated in the most supreme levels of consciousness. Don't get none of this shit twisted. We were the first in the garden. We gave rise to everybody else on the planet. We're the mother, father figures of life on earth. Make no mistake about it. Go out and shout it. I'll show you.
Could I ask you?
He asked the Marines, what happened? Where did this guy come from? And they told him that they had heard that there was a team that was out in Afghanistan that was looking for Taliban or something. And they came upon a cave because there was a nearby village, and the villagers were bringing food and other artifacts to the mouth of this cave. And so they thought that they're aiding and abetting the Taliban. So they went into the cave, and rather than encountering the Taliban, what they found was this enormous humanoid who killed them all. And then, according to these soldiers, they deployed another team to go look for that team. And when they found the cave, they found the traces of that other team. They were ready, they were prepared, and they were able to kill the giant. In fact, the soldiers told the pilot that the giant was eating on members of the team who had killed previously. But these new guys, they took him down, and then they had a transport helicopter come in and airlift him to Bagram.
Did you ever try to find records of who was there and casualties that were reported, deaths that were reported?
It's very difficult. The Pentagon actually released a statement some years ago, which is bizarre to me. You know, basically saying, in paraphrasing, the Kandahar giant incident never happened. There was never a giant that was killed in Afghanistan.
The Pentagon?
Yeah, it was a representative. It was like a spokesman from the Pentagon or something, or a release from the Pentagon.
Is this available online?
Yeah. They actually felt the need to debunk this.
So one question that everyone I've spoken to has asked me to ask is, can you tell us a little bit about the planet that you live on and what your life is like? What does it look like? What do you look like?
As a hybrid being made of human genetics from your world and from the genetics of the Greys and a few other species, I am similar to you in humanoid form, though much slighter, shall we say, much thinner in general, smaller in general. Our average height is about 5 feet. Our skin is usually very pale, though there are some exceptions. The males have no hair, the females do. It tends to be white, though again, there are exceptions. Our eyes are much larger than yours. Our noses, mouths, and ears much smaller. Our heads are slightly larger than yours on average. Our world is left mostly natural. We may construct certain structures from time to time for specific purposes. These structures are temporary and usually disassembled when they are no longer needed. Our spaceships are our cities. So the world is relatively natural. You could survive there if you make a shift to our parallel reality, though it is a little bit richer in oxygen and moisture. You might be a little dizzy at first, but you could acclimate to it.
Working means you were a king. You are no longer a king if you are working. Talking, you're either a tall king with your words or a small king with your words. Words are swords because words are frequency, and frequency is the only thing that penetrates your body without your consent. That's why the Bible tells you life and death are in the power of the tongue. Divine is dive in because you dive inward to connect with the divine. That's why Michelangelo put God in the brain, because the kingdom of God is within you. I is the eye, the all-seeing eye of consciousness, which is inside of you, which is your intelligence or your ideas. I is the Roman numeral for one, which is one line, because we are all the one consciousness. This is why Jesus says, be still, meditate, and know that I am God. Not Jesus is God, the I am within you is God. You are the temple, the all-seeing eye.
A lot of y'all been asking for my Bigfoot stories, so let's go. On my father's side, I am Lakota and Dakota. And in our language, the name for Bigfoot is Chie Tonka. Chie Tonka means big brother or elder brother. And it's a term of endearment and respect for this being who is very real. He is said to be a protector of places like this, and to even be the husband of Unchi Maka, or Mother Earth. He or they are also beings of great psychic power. When they are seen, it is because they want to be seen. They exist coast to coast, and they don't go by the same rules we do in terms of how we relate to our existence here. So they're interdimensional. They can go in and out of this plane as they desire. I also knew of an elder when I used to live in Northern California, and there were stories of this elder. He told these stories himself about how he would trade with Bigfoot. There was a place that they had designated, and he would leave things for Chie Tonka, and Chie Tonka would leave things in return. There are many stories about interactions with Bigfoot or Chie Tonka, and how this being is regarded in many different indigenous cultures. He is not speculated to be a figment of our imagination or a tall tale. He is regarded as a being of great teaching. Sometimes he comes as a figure of correction for those who are walking a path that needs correction. And sometimes he comes as a protector of the innocent ones who need it. Bigfoot shows himself as a warning. The greater the amount of sightings, that means that the more we need to be aware of our relationship with Unchimaka, Mother Earth, and with ourselves and with one another. When you look at Bigfoot as more of an elder or a teacher or someone who came before us and who can teach us how to live in harmony with the environment, with Mother Earth, with our surroundings, then there isn't any fear that should be there, because the respect between nations, between our nation and the Bigfoot nation, would inherently be there. At one point, there were people who could communicate with Bigfoot. And just like anything that can teach us, that can help us be more connected with our environment, it's attacked by those who don't want us to be coherent, who don't want us to be more awake and aware of who we really are and where we come from. Chie Tonka, or Bigfoot, isn't meant to be feared, but to be respected. And as his story and his likeness is making its way more into our awareness, whether it be through a joking way or whether it be through those who are genuinely interested in learning more about this being, it's a signal that there are changes coming to our earth. and that we need to prepare ourselves for those changes and to heal our relationship with our environment, with Mother Earth, and with one another. Because the way in which Chie Tanka shows himself to you is a mirror of how you are choosing to walk in this world. Are you going to live in harmony and balance with your environment? Or are you going to be one of the ones that he has to teach a lesson to?
Adam and Eve.
Yes.
And
Adama
yes.
and Eva.
Eva.
The male line, the female line of the first humans created by the Anunnaki.
Yes.
Yes.
So can you clarify or give me the actual story about the Garden of Eden, the Tree of Knowledge, the snake and the apple and all of that?
Yes. Again, the extraterrestrial race, known as the Anu or Anunnaki, decided to infuse their genetic material into the natural hominid that evolved on your planet that you refer to now as, generally speaking, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, about 300 to 500,000 of your years ago. And in creating from that genetic manipulation, that genetic fusion, what you now recognize yourselves to be as Homo sapien. With me so far?
Yes.
All right. The idea of the snake represents the knowledge, the wisdom of the Anunnaki, especially with regard to the idea of genetics. The spiral, yes? The snake. That's why the double snakes are still on your medical caduceus. It represents the idea of DNA. But the idea is that the Anunnaki didn't want the humans to have that knowledge. They wanted them to remain somewhat subservient. Therefore, the idea of eating of the knowledge, yes?
Yes.
Would be something that would be forbidden. Now, in terms of the general Garden of Eden, there were actually many spots on your planets where the Anunnaki had these genetic laboratories, but one of the main ones was in what you call the area of the Middle East. In that area near the Euphrates River, yes? And therefore that was considered the original garden. Eden is simply the name that they gave to that particular base. You follow? Yes, no?
Oh, that particular
Am I losing
area.
you?
Okay.
Yes, that particular area.
Okay.
Eden in their language. Yes? Eden. Eden. So the idea eventually is that the majority of Anunnaki who had not come to the planet recognized what the Anunnaki who did come to your planet had done. It was actually against their laws for them to have done that. And so eventually the Anunnaki that came to your world were recalled. And then it was understood that now that they had created the humans, they had to be guided to some degree. And so now and then the Anunnaki came, but the humans still had a lot of genetic markers turned off. Some of the Anunnaki then became their guides, became their tutors, helped them to grow over time. But at a certain point, they had to let them grow on their own. They had to see what they would do with the information they were given by different sources from off your world. And because of the way that was initiated to begin with, it's why the early humans considered the Anunnaki gods. And it is because of that relationship that was created that you actually have religion on your planet today. Otherwise, you wouldn't have. You understand?
Yes.
The very
we would see
idea,
ourselves as God.
you would
instead
see
of
yourself
other
as
than.
God. You would have a direct spiritual connection to creation. You wouldn't need intermediaries. You wouldn't think that anyone was better than you, greater than you, over you, or anything like that. You understand?
Got it.
And all of the so-called commandments and laws and rules are all very limited interpretations of the true underpinning knowledge that was given, but was misinterpreted because, again, humans at the time didn't necessarily have the genetic capacity to fully understand, but the guides knew it would take time, as it has taken many thousands of years, to get to this point where you finally are remembering, finally opening up those genetic markers, finally expanding your consciousness to the degree that you can finally acknowledge that you are aspects of all that is. And that's why these conversations are now capable of happening, because you have reached a level where your vibrational state is compatible enough with the delivery of this information that we and others are allowed to do it. It's now something that can serve you and not just confuse you, although obviously there is still a lot of misinterpretation that happens based on some of the information that we and others have shared with all of you.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, so y'all let me know what y'all think about that, man. You know what I'm saying? How do y'all feel about them pushing the extraterrestrial and religious rhetoric and merging them? And does it make sense to you? If it doesn't make sense to you, let me know why. If it do, I still want to know why. Like, this need to be a discussion, you know what I'm saying? And it's just another way to look at things. Me, I'm not a religious person like that, as far as like Christianity or, you know, Islam or Judaism and things of that nature. I'm more of a knowledge of self type of person. You know what I'm saying? So this kind of aligns with me more anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I'm so quick to subscribe to this way of thinking. You know, we still figuring things out, man. Still using discernment, still, you know, diving deep, man, and figuring out what's going on down here, man. You know what I mean? On this motherfucking ghetto-ass planet that we call Earth, or Tiamat, or whatever you choose to call this place that we on, this plane of existence that we on, man. But you already know what it is, man. It's your boy. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Fetty Lotto, GNN. Until next time, man. You know,
to stand up tall.
The name of all the real niggas.
I want you to speak up clear and loud.
Respectfully, the most honorable YB double M. Lotto.
Brown baby.
Gunshots in the dark at me. Discrimination cause my head nappy. Call me a thug cause I'm tatted up. Now your actions justify when them slugs clap me. I think it's a war on the black race. Why every criminal they show got a black face, and every hero they show gotta be pale? Is it me or y'all got the wrong niggas for crimes against humanity? Of course we out here acting up. They slaughtered our elders and told the babies they from Africa. We screaming Black Lives Matter, they do. Well nigga, Black Lives Matter to who? Cause they don't matter to you. You know the owner of that movement, a Jew, and Nick Cannon got canceled just for speaking the truth. True, y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe. Y'all think money bring power, it don't. Unity bring power, then we take what they owe.